Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? Don't think I've done a reading for you before, so I like to explain real quick. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. Right, and I'll try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste their energy. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. And if it doesn't make any sense now, just keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what he's talking about. This is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. They don't usually give me all the details because the details are none of my business. So there should be enough in there you should understand what he's talking about. And I can ask them all the questions I want to, and I cannot make them answer. This is their show. This is their ball game. I totally leave it up to them. So we're going to talk to your brother today. He's got very strong energy. He says he was, say it again, he was involved with wrong people, wrong side of the tracks, sorry, my teeth, sometimes they don't work right. Wrong side of the tracks, doing things I shouldn't have, going places I shouldn't have, meeting people I shouldn't have. I kind of had this, say it again, angry thing inside of me. And I was kind of like, fuck it, I'll do what I want. When I want, how I want. I don't care about your feelings. And he's not talking about you. He's talking about in general. In general. All right, so I've asked them not to show me how they act, the actual scene of their death, because I saw so much horrendous stuff that it started getting to me. But lately I've been thinking I got to bring that back in. So I don't know what we'll get exactly with that because I'm kind of halfway in between there. I probably need it back in, but I really don't want to start going through that again. So he's showing somebody coming up behind him. Now he's showing a big knife. Now whether that's how he died, that doesn't matter. Somebody had a knife. Somebody came up behind him. He looked over his shoulder. He saw who it was. He was surprised. Kind of snuck up on somebody he knew. Somebody he definitely knew. And he was surprised they were doing this to him. Kind of like a, what the hell? What the hell, man? What's wrong with you? Something about drugs involved. Don't know if your brother was involved in it, but definitely this other person was. And I almost feel this other person feels like maybe he didn't quite know what he was doing. Maybe he was a little screwed up on drugs or something. Heat of the moment. possibly a struggle, but I will not hold to that 100%. Then it feels like it was an accident. It went too far. Like possibly it happened in the struggle or because of the struggle. I'm not sure. He says it was pretty quick, but he kept thinking, why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? What are you doing? I trusted you. Then he jumps up, but his body is still on the ground, on the floor. And when he jumps up, he looks down, he sees himself. I don't know how graphic you want me to get. Because like I said, I've asked him not to show me this stuff, so we'll see. He sees himself and he goes, uh-oh. Says, well, nothing I can do about that now. And then there's a grandmother that walks into the picture. Elderly lady. Feel like she was either kind of short, or I can't tell if she's hunched over, being elderly, how our backs start getting hunched a little bit. She walks into the picture and she says, come with me. I'll take care of you. It's your time. Time for you to go with me. And I also see a beautiful angel. See the grandmother up here and the beautiful angel off in the background a little bit, just waiting, allowing her to do this. And he leaves with his grandma. And the angel goes with him, which is a very common scene. Pretty much. Not exactly that way, but now he's sitting around playing what look like, and I can't really say they're bongos, but he's playing the drums with his hands. But they're not little bongos. So I don't know what you would call it. Timpy drums? I don't know. He's playing some kind of drum with his hands. You should hear that sound. So imagine a bigger drum that he's doing this to. You should hear that, or at least the thumping of it. And when you hear that or any sign that he mentions, make sure you validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more. It's totally your choice. It's up to you. Give him permission. Ask him to, not beg. Ask him to come into your home if he's welcome. That's your choice. He says he's going to be a great guardian for you. So know that he's calling himself Billy B, Billy B, Billy B, or is it Billy Badass? He's saying Billy B. Anyway, so know that whatever he would have been good at here, would he have been good at kicking somebody's ass if they messed with you? Ask him to protect you. Ask him to do, if you want his help, do something that he would have been good at here. Because we don't get to be all knowing when we get up there. Yeah, like I thought. It doesn't work that way. So if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, you wouldn't ask Uncle Joe for financial help because he didn't know how it worked down here, if that makes sense. All right, I'm not sure what he's doing now. Hang on. So even if there wasn't a knife involved or anything like that, it could be that he felt like he was stabbed in the back. I said sometimes this stuff you gotta. I don't want to be too vague. I don't like being vague, but you gotta stretch it outside the box a little bit sometimes. Not always sure why they show what they show. So somewhere in there, he heard Mom screaming, "Come back, come back, come back. Don't leave." So, and I promise you 1,000%, he can hear you, he can see you. So you can talk to him all you want to. And then you might watch around and see if something happens, something that reminds you of him. You might see his name on a bulletin or a billboard, or something might pop on the TV or radio with his name or something shortly after you talk to him. Sorry, I was trying to hear what he's saying. He said there was quite a scurry around him before he left. He knew it, but he was so peaceful. He heard everything that was said, and he can hear you now. That's me throwing that last part in. He's saying, I heard you, I heard you, I heard you. No, there's no reason to kick anybody's ass. It's already done. See, they usually like me to explain before we come down here. We actually have a plan, and we also decide our exit point. Maybe not exactly how it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen. So it could be when you're 1 day old, it can be when you're 100 years old. The timeline can shift a little bit depending on what's going on with the people around you, what they're going to learn from you leaving. And a lot of times the way we leave is designed to teach people around us something. So think about what you learned from him leaving. And it's a big deal. It is a big deal. So it was his time. He said he wasn't perfect. He liked to throw a fist or two, I think is what he said. So if you need help with somebody backing you up, guarding you, you feel like somebody's being mean to you, if you want to call it that, call on him. He'll be a great protector for you. I was only meant to be here for a little while. Oh, he's quiet. All right, now he's showing himself, you and himself, when you were much, much younger. Young, little. And he said he picked on you a lot, but he always admired you. He always looked up to you. He would hear your advice, but he heard it more than you think he heard it. He would hear it, and then he would kind of, I'm going to do what I want to do. But it would still be in his head where I should listen to her, I should pay attention, but I'm going to do what I want to do. But it would still be in there. He didn't just totally shove it out. I think when you were really little, somebody picked on you and he whacked him, which is kind of normal for a little brother. Sometimes they whack us and sometimes they whack others for us. But this was a pretty good whack on somebody else. It was picking on you. And he will still continue to do that. He's telling you not to go down the same path he did. It's not worth it. You're better than that. You need to pick yourself up a little more. Higher, 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 higher. Don't stay down on that plane. I'm not sure exactly. I think he wants you up here, and some of the people around you are down here. As far as energy and the things that they do, I guess, things like that, he wants you up here. You've got this. You've got this. Start looking at a higher level. You're very pretty. You're very smart. I love you. Again, I looked up to you. You cannot undo this. Don't let anybody make it worse. I'm asking him something. You will eventually find out some more things when it's time. Things need to unfold the way they need to unfold. Let this happen in the way it's supposed to happen, in the time it's supposed to happen. In other words, Be patient, it'll happen in divine timing, which I hate that phrase. Hate that phrase because I'm not patient. He's talking about you're going to find out bits and pieces, bits and pieces. Okay, there's also somebody else there, another male, about his age. They look similar, similar build, similar energy. They're fist bumping, and they're doing one of those handshakes. One of those, like, handshakes that, like, my 18-year-old grandson makes up with his buddies, their own personal type of, it means something kind of. And they're hanging out together a little bit. He's not giving me a clear. It's one of his buddies. Don't know whether you know him. He's not. They're not coming forward with any more information about the guy. He's got tats. So I don't know if he had a friend that passed right before him, a little time before him. Trying to get him to. Evidently, it doesn't make any difference for sure who it is. But he's run into one of his buddies. Calling him bro. Bro. However they say that now. So you're going to get. They love the smells. They love the sounds because it's easy for them to do, to let you know they're around. So you're going to get the smell of some kind of smoke, which seems to be about the most common thing they come up with. It doesn't really smell like cigarette smoke. Could be. Smells a little bit different, or it's an off-brand cigarette that's different. I'm not sure. Or it's a left-handed cigarette. Not sure. You'll get that smell once again. Validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, ask him to bring you more. If you want more, it's your choice. He says there's a female that you might want to be careful hanging around. And he's shown that might be a little stabbing in the back going on there. Just keep your eyes and ears open. Be on the alert. It's not a big thing. It's just not a right thing. He says if you get a funny feeling that something's going on behind your back, trust it. Just not one of your better choices. And he's not saying that you're making bad choices. He's saying it's not a really good choice for you. Yeah, he's trying to sing something. Hang on. Do you have a piece of jewelry of his? Something that you touch a lot, something that you finger, something that you keep close to you. He's He says, I will come to see you. He's not showing that he's going to make himself like you're going to see him. Could be possible, but he's not showing like he's going to do something like that. But he will be popping in and out. He will be coming to see you. He will be checking on you. Talk to him all you want to. He can hear you. And you don't have to talk out loud. You can talk telepathically. I did things I wasn't supposed to do that got me in this pickle. And it's okay. My free will, my choices. Nobody else's. Nobody should feel guilty for it. My choice, my rules, my way. I used to tell people my way or the highway. And it's okay. It's what I wanted to do. My life. But I love you guys. Now he's going, Mom, 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 Mom. Sorry, Mom. Mom, sorry. And with that, he's leaving. He said he's sending love and kisses. Going to bring that warm, strong energy to all of you to help support you. And I don't know how long he's been gone. I had a feeling it's pretty recent, so it's really hard to feel when you're in that much grief. When you're deep grief, it's like there's a wall around you, and it's hard for them to get to you, if that makes sense. Part that doesn't make sense to me is that's when you really need to hear from them and see them and feel them, and that's when it's the hardest for them to get that done because of that deep grief being a wall. Once that starts easing off, then you'll know he's around. It'll be a lot easier to know when he's around. But like I said, he keeps saying, talk to him, talk to him. He can hear you. He's going to flick you on the head. So you should feel a little thump on the side of the head. I love you. Don't forget I'm still your big bro. And with that, he's leaving. Okay. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.